Hi everyone, so today we are going to look at one example of many instances of Frank Tufano just blatantly lying. So Frank uploaded this video the other day titled "Vegans Can't Get Enough D." The video centered around vitamin D, and his claim was vegans cannot get enough vitamin D. And the basis for his claim is that because vegans don't consume any cholesterol, well then vitamin D can't be utilized in the body. So no matter how much vitamin D a vegan intakes, even through a supplement, they'll still be vitamin D deficient because they don't have enough cholesterol to transport vitamin D around their body. That was the claim he made in this video. Now, of course, I made my own response to this. You guys can watch it. But this is where things get interesting, so I posted my video to Twitter, and then I tweeted at Frank, and I said, your claims about cholesterol being essential to vitamin D transport are completely false. A vitamin D transport protein is responsible for vitamin D transport in the human body. Are you going to admit you're wrong, or are you going to cuck into the shadows? So Frank's statement that cholesterol is used to transport vitamin D around the human body, totally false. Our bodies use a specific transport protein. So cholesterol is not involved at all. His response, the body needs cholesterol to absorb vitamin D and lipids to transport. And again, this is totally false. So Frank changed his wording around here. So first he claimed that your body needs cholesterol in order to transport vitamin D, but now he changed what he said. So now he's saying the body needs cholesterol to absorb vitamin D, but it uses lipids to transport. I don't think he understands what cholesterol or a lipid is to begin with. But then I explained why he's wrong. I said, wrong again, you're lying. Mono and polyunsaturated plant fats increase vitamin D absorption, and vitamin D is transported with a specific transport protein, not any type of lipid. So why don't you tell us why you're lying? And I linked these two articles here. So first off, study dietary fat increases vitamin D3 absorption. And what they found was if you eat vitamin D with a high-fat meal, even if it contains mono and polyunsaturated plant fats, it'll boost vitamin D3 absorption by about 30%. So you don't need cholesterol, you don't need saturated animal fats like butter to absorb vitamin D. You can eat things like walnuts, cashews, olive oil. That will help with vitamin D absorption. And secondly, this paper was just about the transport of vitamin D. So in this abstract, they explain that vitamin D is transported in the human body with a specific vitamin D binding protein, and it's called DBP. So Frank is wrong on both accounts. He says the body needs cholesterol to absorb vitamin D. Well, no, it doesn't. It's just that fat helps to absorb vitamin D, and you can get that fat through plant sources. And lipids to transport, well, no, it's transported with a specific binding protein. Lipids have nothing to do with vitamin D transport. So this is on Twitter, of course, and if you scroll down, he never ended up actually replying to this. He just ran away after he was proven wrong. But then instead of eventually responding to me on Twitter, what he did was he left a comment on my video, and then he just repeated the same lie. So he said, cholesterol is required for metabolism, absorption, parentheses. Frank, metabolism and absorption are two different things. So again, he doesn't understand what words mean. Not transportation. I specified that lipids are necessary for transportation in the body. Nice straw man. I'm not sure if Frank actually understands what a straw man is, but somebody in the comments pointed out you literally said cholesterol is required for vitamin D3 to be transported. How is life with cholesterol-induced dementia? So we'll just go to that timestamp.
Cholesterol is required for vitamin D3 to be transported in the body.
So in case you missed it, let's just watch that again.
Cholesterol is required for vitamin D3 to be transported in the body.
And let's just watch it one more time, just to make sure you got it.
Cholesterol is required for vitamin D3 to be transported in the body.
Oh, okay, Frank, so you're lying. So then we go down. Then Frank claimed cholesterol is required for vitamin D3 to be cholesterol is required for vitamin D3 to be transported does not mean that cholesterol transports vitamin D3. You need cholesterol to absorb vitamin D3. If it is not absorbed, it cannot be transported. So Frank is playing the stupid word game, and he's trying to come up with an excuse, like another lie, so he doesn't have to admit he's wrong. And we've already covered this on Twitter. So he already knows he's wrong, but he's coming up with the same lie. And he's just doing it on my video. So it sounds like he's just doing damage control here. I don't know why he thought he could get away with this. And I already covered this, and I linked the same studies again. So cholesterol you need cholesterol to absorb vitamin D3. Well, no, we already debunked that. And what is it? Where is that? Yeah, if it's not absorbed, it can't be transported. Like, okay, well, we know if you eat monopolyunsaturated fats, vitamin D3 is absorbed just fine. And vitamin D3 is transported in the body with a specific transport protein. So Frank is lying. I proved him wrong, and he never responded back. He never said, "Oh, sorry, yeah, my mistake. You're right there, Richard." So the problem I have with Frank making these claims, even though it might sound like it's not a big deal to some people, well, in Frank's video, he's claiming that vegans should start eating things like butter, eggs, lots of saturated fat and cholesterol to aid with vitamin D absorption, and all of those foods greatly increase your risk of heart disease. And it's completely unnecessary to increase your risk of heart disease just to better absorb vitamin D3. None of that will help you absorb D3, won't help it be utilized better in the body. So Frank has spread potentially harmful misinformation that could eventually lead to somebody killing themselves with their diet. And this is just one example of this happening. Literally every video, Frank spreads some sort of misinformation relating to diet and health, and this is just one of his most recent examples. So Frank was not only totally wrong in his original video, but when I proved him wrong, he just came up with more lies. He wouldn't admit he's wrong. And then when I proved him wrong again, don't hear a peep out of him. He just doesn't respond. He just runs and hides. So, and you know what the weird thing is? Let's just go to Frank Tufano Social Blade. His YouTube channel's blowing up pretty damn well. 1.8 million views in the last 30 days. His views are up 50%. His subscribers are up 67%. And I mean, look at this trend here. Like, people are listening to this liar. Somebody who spreads false, misleading information to begin with, and then when they're proven wrong, they just lie and keep spreading the same false, misleading information. And look, I've been wrong before, but when somebody points out the fact, like, hey, Richard, you were wrong about this, then I just change my opinion based on new evidence. Frank, he'll just tell you to give yourself heart disease because he believes, well, unless you eat butter and cholesterol and eggs and shit that's going to clog your arteries and kill you, you won't be able to absorb vitamin D. Well, that's totally false. And when you prove to him that's false, I'm just going to come up with a lie, and then when that lie fails, I'm just going to try to ignore you. So, look, Frank has a big audience, and quite a lot of his fans also came over to my video and left really dumb comments. I'd like to know why Frank's fans actually like him. Like, please explain to me why you want to be lied to, be fed false, misleading information, and yeah, why do you listen to this little, like, kid who just lies out of his ass constantly? I genuinely like to hear it. But as always, keep making those vegan gains.
What a relief! When will this poisonous product cease? This is another public service announcement. You can believe it or you can doubt it. Let us begin now with the cow. The way it gets to your plate and how.